Hello, ladies. Today we are going to be talking about 3 ways to become more accountable. And this topic is really important to me because I've been noticing online a lot of conversation, especially among millennial women, in terms of the ideology or thought process. I wasn't taught this, or I didn't know this. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to just living your life, making decisions, raising kids, dealing with men, I'm noticing a lot of conversations often. Oh, I didn't know this, or I didn't know that, or nobody taught me this, or nobody taught me that. So accountability means that you are willing to accept responsibility for your own actions. And we want to become more accountable, ladies. We want to become more accountable because we are responsible for our own lives. No matter what we've been through, no matter what decisions we've made, at the end of the day, we are accountable. Whether we knew the mistakes or we didn't know. There's a quote that says, it's something related to court, as a matter of fact. Is the judge, the crime you still do the time. If ignorance, that's what it is. Ignorance of the law does not excuse the law. So that's why this is an important conversation to have, because just because you didn't know something or you weren't aware of something does not mean that you don't have to deal with the consequences that come along with those actions. It doesn't mean that you can avoid the consequences that come along with those actions. You have to be responsible for the result of the choices that you make, even if the choices are not good. So ignorance of the law does not excuse the law or does not make the law go away. And the same thing for life. Just because we are ignorant of something or aren't aware of something doesn't mean that we can just simply act as if we're not responsible for it. So that's what we're talking about today. 3 ways to become more accountable. So the very first way that you can become more accountable is to avoid blame. So you want to stay out of the process of blaming mom, dad, baby daddy, ex-husband, sister, brother, any of those people, employers, employees, business partners. You want to stay out of the realm of blaming other people for things that have happened to you. Do people do bad things? Yes, they do. Absolutely. We are all human. Everyone makes mistakes. So I'm not saying to overlook bad things or overlook bad things or ignore bad things that have happened to you, but we can't stay stuck in that same place where we just always use that as a burden and we can't move on with our life. So we want to avoid blame. We don't want to blame anyone for our mistakes. When things happen to us, we want to acknowledge that this happened. Yes, you definitely want to acknowledge that it happened. You want to hold the person accountable or responsible if there was a crime that took place. Yes, you want to report it. You want to get the law involved, whatever means that you can go through, whether it be financial, whether it be the criminal justice system. Yes, you don't want to allow anyone to abuse you. Absolutely not. But we also want to become victors and not victims. We don't want to stay stuck in that same place where I can't go on or you can't go on with your life because this happened to me and now I'm forever stuck in this process where this one thing that happened or several things that have happened are holding me back from living my life or living your life. So we want to avoid blame. And blame, in case you don't know, blame is when you place fault or wrongdoing on somebody else. That's what blame is at the end of the day. It's you're faulting someone else for their wrongdoing and making them the person that's responsible for something that happened. Now, of course, like I said, if it's a legal issue, if it's a legal matter, a financial matter, you have every right within the law to go ahead and get what's due to you. But if it's regarding to emotional, mental, physical, you want to start to own your responsibility and start taking the actions that you need to take so that you can move forward in a healthy way with your life. Number 2, you definitely want to own your failures. I had to look down because I overthink. But yes, you want to own your failures. So for me personally, I have had a lot of failures in my life. I was a delinquent teen. I have to own that. I was a baby mama. I have to own that. I was overweight. I had to own that. I had to do what I had to do to get in shape. I've even been homeless in my lifetime. I had to own that. I had to embrace that. I had to get a job. I had to make more money. I had to do whatever I had to do to get out of that situation. I've even had poor credit, and I had to do what I had to do to get out of that situation, which usually requires a great amount of work. It requires a huge amount of responsibility in terms of being able to change your mindset. But that's definitely something that you want to do. You want to make sure that you own your failures. You take full responsibility for anything that you have lacked to do in life. That is up to you to change. It's not up to anybody else. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you evolve your thinking. You want to make sure that you evolve your thinking. So how can you evolve your thinking? You can read. I am an avid reader. I have a whole library in my home where I have so many books that I have read on personal development, on spirituality, on business courses, so you want to make sure that you are doing things that are going to feed your mind, feed your spirit, so that you can grow as a person. Also, you can seek out coaches. You want to make sure that you seek the support of life coaches, business coaches, career coaches. There are even parenting coaches that you can find, and family relationship coaches. There is probably a coach for every facet of your life. You want to make sure that you have support there. And if you don't have the financial resources to hire a coach, there's YouTube. There's a bunch of, please follow me. I'm definitely doing life coaching, and I'll be sharing more content and more videos. A lot of the information will be for free. So feel free, if there's any benefit that you can get out of any of these lessons, that's my goal. I want you to be able to do those things. But yes, YouTube is a good platform where you can literally type in, Google search anything on YouTube that will be able to give you more information on how to do things, how to overcome things. And you want to make sure that you do those things so that you own your failures and you can be responsible for them. So if you have gained weight, hire a fitness coach to help you lose the weight, or watch YouTube videos on how to lose weight or what exercises to do so that you're able to do those things. If you have poor credit, check out some YouTube videos on how to improve your credit. Hire a credit coach or a credit company that will help you restore your credit. If you have a business and you want to grow your business, check out content on YouTube or hire a business coach that can help you improve in those areas. But you want to make sure that you understand where your shortcomings are, what your failures are, and you want to start taking the steps to work on those things so that you can improve your life. That's the biggest part of owning your failures. And also making sure that you evolve your thinking. And then also, when you evolve your thinking, you can look into therapy. So I've been through many things in my life, and I'll be sharing more of my own personal stories and successes. And I'm using this way, my information, my life, if anything that I can share with you that can teach you to make you a better person, so that you can also apply it and do well for yourself in life as well too. So I've had therapy before for parenting, for personal reasons, just to make sure that my mentality was straight. So I encourage you to do the same thing. I am a supporter of therapists. So the difference between a therapist and a difference between a life coach is that a life coach can be very specific. Your life coach can guide you in specific areas related to family relationships, career coaching, business, whereas the therapy, you usually are going to be focusing on very specific mental blockages or emotional challenges that you may have. So those are sort of the key differences between a therapist and a life coach. A life coach is really goal oriented or goal focused. You have a specific objective that you want to achieve. A life coach that specializes in that area could help you reach your next level. If you have some emotional things that are holding you back or some mental blockages that are holding you back, then you might want to consider hiring a therapist to help you to be able to address those issues. And the cool thing about having a therapist is that a good therapist will give you solutions. So it's not like you're just sitting in the office, just ranting, blah, 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 and telling this person all of your problems. Yes, you have the opportunity to do that. You have the opportunity to express yourself freely in a judgmental free zone, but you also have the opportunity to get reasonable and good feedback from somebody that can provide you solutions, that have listened to hundreds of people with different stories and different scenarios, and they have an abundance of resources that they can share with you that has helped other clients, which can be very beneficial. Versus if you don't go to therapy, you're just kind of venting to people that you know, it can be very limiting because the person that you're venting to, their experience is only, it goes as far as whatever their thinking is. So if they're not a reader, if they don't study, if they aren't involved in their thinking, if they haven't been through coaching, if they haven't had enough life experiences, really the feedback that you get from that person may not be relatable. It may not help you grow enough because they haven't been stretched enough to actually help you grow. So that's the reason why you want to hire a therapist, is because not only the training that they have, but also the stories, the life experience they get to experience every day from different people from many types of walks of life, versus just the people that you know that are very limited to other people that are like them or in their same scenario. But the main focus, like I said, for number 3 is making sure that you evolve your thinking. You want to start to think about things a little bit differently, and just using your own mindset doesn't really get you far. So that's the reason why you want to read books, the reason why you want to talk to professionals, whether it be a life coach or a professional therapist. Those are the things that can actually help you grow as a person. So I just wanted to share that information with you so that we don't have women out here that are stuck. That's my goal, is to make sure that we are growing as women. We have children to raise. We have other young women that are growing, and we want to just make sure that we can be full women and that we can inspire others. So I'm doing my best to do my part, and ladies, join me as well. I am a certified life coach, so if you do want to talk to someone about very specific goals, my specialty is going to be in family relationships. I'm also going to be talking about personal relationships, and I do have some business coaching as well, but I would prefer to make sure that you're a whole person first. So I'm really, really focused on making sure that your mentality is straight, mindset, and that you're actually transforming into the person that you want to be, so that you can have a successful and profitable business. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking the time out to listen to me today. And I look forward to next week, where we will be discussing Womanhood Wednesday and our next topic on how to grow and become emotionally well and peaceful, relaxed, beautiful spirited women. Talk to you soon.